He found he could slide between the spaces in the air itself. He was stroked by something akin to trees, cool, green, leafy. His nostrils were assailed with the smell of things growing and dying, a sweet, fecund smell, like the valleys of rainforests. It occurred to him that he had died, and should therefore be frightened. It was only later that he felt any wish to return to his body, when he discovered that there were many different worlds, layer upon layer, as thin as phyllo pastry, and that if he might taste bliss, he would not be immune to terror. He touched walls like membranes, which shivered with pain, and a sound, as insistent as a pneumatic drill, promised meaningless tortures, as terrible as the Christian stories of his youth. He recognized the worlds of pleasure and worlds of pain, bliss and punishment, heaven and hell. He did not wish to die. For a moment, panic assailed him, and he crashed around like a bird surrounded by panes of glass. Yet he had more reserves than he might have suspected, and in a calm, clear space he found his way back, willed his way to a path beside a house where men carried a stretcher towards an ambulance. He watched with detachment whilst the doctor thumped the man on the chest. The man was thin, with a grubby white suit. He watched as they removed the suit coat and connected wires to the thin white chest. My God, he thought, that can't be me. The electric shock lifted his body 9 to 10 inches off the table, and at that moment his heart started, and he lost all consciousness. He had been dead for 9 minutes. Harry Joy was 39 years old, and believed what he read in the newspapers. In the provincial town where he lived, he was someone of note, but not of importance, occupying a social position below the managing director of the town's largest store, and even the general manager of the canning factory. He was not known to the descendants of the early pioneer families or members of the judiciary, but when he entered the best restaurants in his grubby suit and dropped his cigarette ash everywhere, he was humoured and attended to. And pity help the new waiter, who did not know that this was Harry Joy. "Mr. Joy, how good to see you. This way, please." The lank figure with its little pot belly passed between the tables and left smiles and whispers in the air behind him. "Are you happy, Mr. Joy?" "Yes, Aldo, perfectly." And indeed he thought himself happy. And why shouldn't he? He had a wife who loved him, children who gave no trouble, an advertising agency which provided a good enough living for a man with an almost aristocratic disdain for mercantile success, and, most important of all, the right to the best table in Milanos. Here, on the outposts of the American Empire, he conducted his business more or less in the American style, although with not quite the degree of seriousness the Americans liked. Telexes, which began their journeys in Chicago, Detroit, or New York, found their way to him upriver, where he interpreted these requests in a manner which, he would explain, ash dropping down his sleeve, suited local conditions. "Someone is joining you, Mr. Joy?" "No, Aldo." "A half bottle of claret?" "A full bottle, Aldo. You choose something." His great talent in life was to be a good bloke. He could walk into a room and sit down, and everybody would be happy to have him, even if all he ever did was smile, for they imagined behind that moustache, behind the smile it hid, something sterner, more critical, and yet also tolerant, so that when he smiled they felt themselves approved of, and they vied with each other to like him best. It all came down to the feeling that he was intelligent enough to be critical of you, but was not. He laughed, too. A rich, deep brown laugh, which made the laughs surrounding it or following it sound slightly too thin. He was something of a storyteller. No one ever thought to say that the way he told a story, his deep drawling.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.